Hey, welcome back to another Finance Friday. This is Jerry Fetta, CEO of Philanthro Wealth. And I want to talk to you today about Mark Twain bankruptcy and how that pertains to you with your investing. Don't miss this. I'm going to be diving into some good stuff. Hey, welcome back to another Finance Friday. So I've been doing a series the last couple of weeks on the financial misadventures of Mark Twain, aka Samuel Clemens. And this is a great book. I've really enjoyed reading this. I've really enjoyed sharing this with you. And the big thing that I've been taking away from this is do not speculate, right? Do not speculate. And there's such a great storyline there. You can actually see the story of Mark Twain, the mechanics at work. And I talked about, in my last video, how he had this meeting. He was raising money for investors, trying to get Andrew Carnegie on board even. And Andrew Carnegie said, no, look, put all your eggs in one basket and watch that basket. And that's where the origin of this famous quote came from, right? Really speaking to, like, have your knowledge, financially have so much knowledge on something that you don't feel the need to diversify. Okay. Now, further into the story today, I'm going to share what happens next because he has this meeting with Andrew Carnegie. Okay. And Carnegie doesn't invest, thankfully. And then what happens is he can't get Carnegie's money. So he actually goes to an associate of John D. Rockefeller. Okay. There are two polar opposite demeanors here. You've got Carnegie, like benevolence and giving back to the world, and your wealth is a sacred trust for the benefit of humanity. Then you have the Rockefeller crew, which is kind of like scorched earth, make money at all costs, exploit, and this very cutthroat mentality. And so he starts spending time with this guy from Rockefeller's crew. And what I noticed is as he's spending time with this guy, he starts justifying why the guy's not so bad. Okay, because this person has a reputation, I forget his name, I think it's maybe Rogers or something like that. He has a reputation of being this cutthroat, manipulative, cold-blooded, basically Wall Street kind of guy. Right? This is before Wall Street really had the reputation that we know it with today of Wolf of Wall Street and all this kind of stuff. But he was kind of this mentality, and it was money at all costs, and he would, run people over and leave them under the bus, and he would make his money and move on. That was his public reputation. And so Mark Twain needed money. He needed out of a bad situation. And at this point in time, like, his business owes, in today's dollars, the equivalent of millions in debt. He's not able to pay it, right? It's coming due soon. He's got this problem there. He's not really bringing in any income. His business is negative cash flowing. He's been sinking all his money into inventions, trying to invent this new thing and getting rich quick off of that with just, an idea, right? And he's not writing books. He's not writing books. He's not making money writing books. He's still avoiding the job that produces his wealth building income.
Hey, what's up? Jerry here. I just wanted to give you another reminder. Grab my book, Blueprint to Financial Freedom. It's going to be one of the best books you have ever read on finance. I can promise you that. You're going to love it. It's also a free offer. So if you go to jerryfetta.com/B2F promo, you can get that now.
So he goes to this associate of Rockefeller and he says, I need a plan. And so he has this company for the invention he's making. It's the printing press thing that he's using for publishing books. And he's thinking that's going to be the next big breakthrough. And that's how he's going to get rich. The inventor of that concept wasn't Mark Twain. The inventor is a different guy. Okay. So that guy who invented it has ownership in the company. They raised money from other investors already. So they have a bunch of people who invested thinking, we're going to participate in the upside of this invention. Then you've got Mark Twain's ownership. And so this associate of Rockefeller comes up with a scheme where he basically says, hey, we're going to go to the shareholders and we're going to pitch them a story that it's a lot worse than it is. Okay, because Twain wanted to be partners with the Rockefeller guy, right? Only two people. They wanted to cut out all the investors. They wanted to cut out the original inventor of the equipment, right? And have it just be them, and they would get rich together off of this idea. Okay, what a parasitic way to do business. Like the Rockefeller guy, I have no respect for him. I don't even remember his name from the book. That's how little I admire this guy. But they go to the shareholders and they basically say, hey, the company's doing a lot worse than you think. You're going to lose everything. And the Rockefeller associates, like, unless I would be willing to buy all of your shares for like 20 cents on the dollar, right? Because I have money and I can take the hit and I might be able to do something with this. So I'm going to give you an exit. But if you don't do this now, basically you're screwed. You're going to lose everything. And all the investors sell to this guy at 20 cents on the dollar, right? Their shares are not worth that little, but they sell at a loss thinking they're going to avoid more loss so that this guy can basically use dishonesty to capitalize on the opportunity there. Then they go to the inventor and they do the same thing. We're going down, you can get out now. And that's basically what they did. And so now they've gotten the investors out. They've gotten the original inventor of the equipment out and they own the company together. And then on the personal side, this guy from Rockefeller's team, he basically, has Mark Twain assign everything to his wife and then file bankruptcy so that he can get rid of all of his debt. Right? Like complete just scumbag move. And this is who he's hanging out with at this point in time. And at this point, like Mark Twain, he literally is just like, get me out of the business world. Get me out of being an entrepreneur. He even says, I'll just go back to writing books. I'll be so good. I'll just write books and that's all I'm ever going to do. Just please get me out of here. Give me another chance and I'll just focus on writing books. And I find that really interesting is he built himself a trap. He built himself into his own trap, right? Where he is broke, filing bankruptcy, ripping off investors, not making money, right? They're living in a very, very low condition at this point. They're on a dwindling spiral financially. And he's literally like, just get me out. Even if he has to make a deal with the devil, he's willing to do that just to get him out of that position. And the funny thing here is his solution to this is he realizes, I need to go back to writing books, right? Like the thing that actually works, like the actual work itself. And if you remember, if you didn't read or watch the videos yet, the beginning of the book, he was not willing to work. He wanted to mine for silver without having to do any digging. He wanted to manage the entire mining camp without actually doing anything and being paid $400,000 a week, which is unheard of, right? Like he had this thing with work. He didn't want to work. He wanted money with nothing else. No exchange out, no work. Everything would be just easy for him, right? And that's not real. That's not a real thing. And so he relies then on speculation, trying to find inventions and get rich quick this and get rich quick that. And when that doesn't work and he loses all of his money and now his income source is in jeopardy, now all of a sudden he's doing dirty deals to get himself out at the expense of other people to then go back to do the original thing he wasn't willing to do. Okay, give me a like if you feel like that's just one big circle. I don't want to work because I do all this bullshit to try and avoid working to then realize I just need to go work. I just need to go do the thing that produces income. And I think this is such a relevant thing on Finance Friday today because we live in a culture today where work is demonized, right? Even the concept of retirement, like one day you won't have to work. That's the dream of everyone's life is one day you won't have to exert energy. You won't have to work. Right? Even the financial independence, the rich dad people, I've even been this way in the past where it's like, you won't have to work anymore. If you do enough investing in rentals or seller finance or using the sacred account, one day you won't have to work. Guys, not working is work. I can tell you, there was a little moment for me where I was like, I don't have to work anymore. And I was miserable. I didn't enjoy it. It was like boredom. And, I started pulling in problems because I didn't have anything else to do with my time. And I was like, I need to go back to work. Doesn't matter whether I have to or not. I need to go back to work. And I think there's something to be said for work that aligns with your purpose. I talk about this all the time. The entire financial system is built on the fact that from day one, your work is not aligned with your purpose. So you're working and doing something you don't love. You're just trading time for money. You're basically prostituting your life away for a piece of paper. And you see that and you're like, I want out. And then the way out of it, you're like, okay, well, now I'm going to use my money to invest to get out of it. But you don't align your money with your purpose. So you already didn't align your work with your purpose. And then you add a layer of the money that I make from the work that I do that's not aligned with my purpose. I'm now going to take that money and align it with something that's also not my purpose. My purpose is not Wall Street mutual funds. I'm not excited about that. That's not something that gets me up and out of bed in the morning. Like, I'm going to take dollars and I'm going to go on a computer and I'm going to put them into a fund with Wall Street so that they can earn fees on it and buy Coca-Cola. No, I'm not passionate about that at all. I like helping people. Okay, so here's what I want to wrap this up with today in summary is like, if you're in a position where you're like trading time for money and it's not aligned with your purpose, then you must take those dollars and align them with something that is your purpose. You can at least correct the issue. You see what I'm saying? So if I then take the money that I'm making and I'm putting this towards investments that I'm passionate about and they're purpose aligned, that's what we call philanthro wealth, right? Benefiting humanity, restoring life essentials, promoting human welfare. My money does that for me. Then I look at my job as this is the funding source for that activity. And I'm so passionate about that activity. I'm willing to do stuff that I don't like to do in order to get there.
Next, I don't want to interrupt you too long. I just want to give you a free offer for my book, The Blueprint to Financial Freedom. If you go to jerryfetta.com/B2F promo, you can get the book now. I'm going to let you get back to the video.
Okay. In business, this is a great example in business. I'm not passionate about prospecting. I'm not passionate about calls. I'm not passionate about handling complaints. I'm not passionate about probably 85 to 90% of the stuff that a business owner or an entrepreneur needs to do on a day-to-day basis. I'm not excited about that. It's not like that's, oh yeah, I'm going to make cold calls today. Right? Like that's not something when I'm starting, my business, I started it, guys, in a freaking closet. Okay, so I'm going to go work in a closet and with no windows and call people who don't know me, who don't want to talk to me to try and get them to sit down and have a meeting with me so I can present the fact that you should be financially well, right? And I wasn't passionate about most of the process, but I was passionate about the outcome. And because I was passionate about the outcome, I was willing to go through all the stuff that I wasn't passionate about. But if you remove the outcome that I'm passionate about, and it's like, well, no, that's not going to happen either. Right? You're not going to have the good part at the end. Then yeah, I'm not going to do it. I'm going to be like, why would I make cold calls and work in a closet and all this stuff for an outcome where I'm like, I'm not even into that. That's not exciting to me. That sounds terrible. Right? Financially, that's what the average person does. You work at a job you're not passionate about. And then what happens is you take the money and you invest that in things and you donate to things and you're not passionate about those things either. So then you just run this circle of I don't like what I'm doing with my time and I don't like what I'm doing with my money. No wonder you want to quit. No wonder you want to retire. No wonder you want to be financially independent and never have to do it again. That's terrible. One of the two, if not both of them, needs to align with your purpose. So the money either needs to go to something that you're passionate about that's purposeful for you, and or the work needs to be something you're purposeful about, passionate about. Mark Twain didn't have that. He wasn't aligning his work with his purpose. And when I say that, like he didn't understand his purpose. His purpose was very shallow. His purpose from the beginning of this book was to get rich and to do little to no work in the process. If you were to have a deep dive conversation and put Mark Twain on the Joe Rogan podcast and really dive into like, what is this guy's purpose? I guarantee you after he introspects on it a little bit, that's not the thing that's going to come out the other end is I want to be rich with doing no work. Right? That's not anyone's actual purpose. So if you get below all of that stuff into the core of who someone is, and you're like, what is it that makes you excited about life? What is the effect you want to create on the world around you? What's the game you want to play? That's your purpose. Okay, and I would say 80% of the population has philanthropic purposes. You want to help. You want to improve the planet. Okay, there's 20% that are misanthropic. Right? They're not really into helping. They don't like humans. They don't like other people. They don't really care about the planet. That's about 20%. That's like 1 out of 5. Okay. But for the 80% that are philanthropic, you love humanity, you like other people, you want to help them. That's probably where your purpose is at. And so what's more feasible for most of us watching this or listening to this is if you're in a business and it's just money for money. If you're in a job, it's just working for money. Okay, it's more feasible for you to take your money and align your money with your purpose. Because then you can invest in things that produce passive income and free your time up, but you're also proud of what you're investing in. You're not doing the deal with the devil like Mark Twain did to get your freedom. And that's more feasible than like, I'm going to quit my job, my career of 5 or 10 or 15 or 20 years to now find something that aligns with my purpose. You're starting from ground zero if you do that. What if you keep the job and you say, good, I'm going to invest in real estate that helps provide home ownership for families. I'm going to invest in water that actually recycles and reuses all this water we waste on the planet. And I'm going to make money from doing that. Right? Like those are the kinds of things we're talking about. So this Finance Friday, as we're heading into, the holiday season, I want you to take a few moments and I want you to really introspect, and not too much and not in a negative way, but just look at, what is my purpose, right? Like when it's all said and done, what is the effect that I want to be known for making, where I will be disappointed in myself if it doesn't happen? What is that? Because that's something I can then harness. And if I have a clear way of writing it down and thinking about it and aligning myself with it, I'm probably going to be able to get there. And if you're someone that's doing work that's purpose oriented, let's say you're a public sector employee or a worker and you're like, yeah, I work on my purpose every single day. That's awesome. And what I would say there is oftentimes, those that are in the public sector or doing those goodwill type of jobs, you're not compensated even near what you're worth, right? Like if you're taking your life to devote it to like the public good and you're focusing on restoring those life essentials and promoting human welfare as a job, you're probably underpaid. Let's talk about teachers for a second. Right? Probably one of the most underpaid, undervalued positions on the planet. So then shouldn't we make sure that those people know how to build wealth anyways? Still doing things that are aligned with their purpose. Because if you take someone that has that level of, pureness of heart is what I would call it, and you tell them, good, now the money you're making, the little bit there, you're going to go into raw capitalism and invest in things that you don't believe in order to build wealth. A lot of them are going to be like, nope, I'm good. I'm good. I'll continue being paycheck to paycheck. I don't want to be involved in that. So promoting the message of you don't have to. You can actually invest in things that promote life essentials, restore them, improve the quality of life for human beings on this planet. They align with your values. More people would probably jump into that. But being clear on that purpose is such a big thing, guys. And I can tell you this as a top level, investor, CEO, Inc. 5000 winner. Like at the very top, it's the simple stuff. If you talk to any successful CEO, any successful entrepreneur, any successful investor that is philanthropic at heart, they will tell you that the purpose exceeds and surpasses everything else. It's not a cliche. It's not a little motivational, feel-good thing. It's real. So that's what I've got for you today. Thank you guys for watching this Finance Friday. I appreciate it. Like the video, comment below. If you have anything you want to say or ask, you can always do that. Have a happy holiday season, a Merry Christmas, and I will see you next time.
Hey, this is Jerry Fetta here. I want to thank you for watching my video, watching my content. I hope you enjoyed it. If you would like to learn more about the blueprint to financial freedom and how you can achieve passive income that exceeds your savings, your expenses, your taxes, your generosity, and build wealth like the top 1%, I want to encourage you, grab a copy of my book, The Blueprint to Financial Freedom. You can go to jerryfetta.com/B2F promo, or you can click the link in the description of the video here. The copy is free. You cover your shipping. We'll send the book out to you, and we'll send you an email with a bunch of great bonus material also for free. Get the book, subscribe to the channel. I'll see you on my next content.